Yes, the cheetah, nature's Ferrari. The Usain Bolt of the animal kingdom. The ultimate speed machine. Cut to cheetah panting heavily and laying down. That gets exhausted after 30 seconds, can't climb trees, loses most of its food, and is somehow going extinct despite being the fastest land animal on Earth. On-screen text. Being a cheetah, 10 of 10 in speed, 3 out of 10 in life choices. Today we're diving into one of nature's cruelest ironies. Why it totally sucks to be born a cheetah. Because you might think being the fastest animal on land is an automatic win. Like, how bad can life be when you can run 70 miles an hour? But oh boy, speed may kill, but in the cheetah's case, it's the only thing keeping them alive, barely. So grab your emotional support water bottle and prepare to run to the wild world of being a cheetah, fast, fragile, and forever friend-zoned by evolution. 1. Speed isn't everything, especially when you're built like a supermodel on a juice cleanse. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Cheetahs are fast, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, faster than most sports cars. But speed comes at a cost. To go that fast, cheetahs are basically made of lightweight, hollow bones, a super flexible spine, and muscles optimized for sprinting, not surviving. Imagine being a sports car in a demolition derby. You can outrun danger, sure, until you trip over a rock or get a flat tire, in this case, a twisted ankle. And then suddenly you're lunch. And unlike other big cats like lions or leopards, cheetahs are not fighters. They're more likely to ghost you than go claws out. Because with their build, one bad fight is basically a career-ending injury. Nature gave them speed and took away every other stat. So let's say our cheetah actually catches something, a gazelle, a hare, maybe a small antelope with commitment issues. Great, time to feast, right? Cheetahs have a problem. They get so exhausted after a chase that they need a nap before eating. Literally. They're like, hold my dinner while I go hyperventilate for 10 minutes. And guess who shows up during that window? Hyenas, lions, vultures, your cousin Gary. Cheetahs lose up to 50% of their kills to stronger animals because they simply can't defend them. Imagine working all day to cook dinner, and just before you eat, someone breaks in, punches you in the face, and steals your casserole. Thanks for doing the legwork, bro. I'll take it from here. Yeah, welcome to cheetah life, despite being a big cat. Cheetahs are at the bottom of the predator pecking order. They're constantly bullied by bigger, badder carnivores. Lions will kill cheetahs just for sport. Hyenas steal their food and slap them around. Leopards will throw shade in their claws. Cheetahs will run, because in the grand hierarchy of predators, cheetahs are basically the nerdy kid who's really good at track but keeps getting stuff into lockers. Even their meows are underwhelming. Yeah, cheetahs can't roar. They chirp, like birds. Cute, yes. Intimidating? Not in the slightest. Okay, so life's rough, but at least there's love, right? Nope. Dating is hard when you're a cheetah. First off, male cheetahs live in coalitions, basically bromance gangs. They hang out, hunt together, and post mirror selfies. Meanwhile, female cheetahs are loners. They want nothing to do with your squad. Worse, females are extremely picky. They only mate when they're ready, and they decide who gets the honor. If a male coalition doesn't pass the vibe check, it's a hard no. Like, run away or I claw your face kind of no. And assuming it does happen, the males disappear and the female is left raising cubs alone. Because, of course, being a cheetah mom deserves a whole TED Talk. A cheetah can have up to 6 cubs at once, which sounds impressive, until you realize that over 90% of cheetah cubs die before reaching adulthood. Why? Predators, disease, starvation, lions again. One study in the Serengeti found that only 1 in 10 cubs survive. And cheetah moms can't fight off predators, remember? All she can do is hide her cubs and hope for the best, which is like leaving your kids in a daycare run by bears. Also, she has to constantly move her litter to avoid detection. Imagine packing up your 6 screaming toddlers every few days while being stalked by wild animals. You're hungry, tired, and your kids are fighting again. Sound fun? No? Welcome to motherhood, Cheetah Edition. Evolution giveth, and then yeeteth away. Narrator, let's talk about genetics. You know how humans have genetic diversity, so we don't all catch the same cold and die. Cheetahs? Don't. They went through a genetic bottleneck thousands of years ago, likely due to a mass extinction event. And now their DNA is basically copy-paste. So cheetahs today are so genetically similar that you could take skin graft between two unrelated cheetahs, and their bodies wouldn't reject it. Sounds cool, until disease hits. This lack of genetic variety means they're highly susceptible to viruses, fertility issues, and stress. Yes, stress. Cheetahs can get so anxious that it affects their ability to breed in captivity. They're basically the introverts of the animal kingdom. Cheetah, you want me to reproduce? In front of people? With cameras? I'm calling my therapist. As if all that was enough, humans, as usual, are making everything worse. Cheetahs once roamed across Africa, the Middle East, and even India. Today, they're clinging to the edges of the African savanna like a bad phone signal. Why? Habitat destruction, poaching, and illegal pet trade. Yes, people are still buying cheetah cubs to show off on Instagram. Spoiler alert, they do not make good pets. They are wild animals, not accessories. Also, cheetahs need huge open spaces to survive, not a backyard in Dubai. Add to that deadly roads, climate change, and competition with livestock farmers, and the future isn't exactly looking zoomy. Now here's the weirdest twist. Cheetahs are one of the most famous animals in the world. They're on documentaries, logos, National Geographic covers. Heck, sports teams are named after them. But they're also one of the most endangered big cats, and nobody seems to be panicking. As of now, there are fewer than 7,000 cheetahs left in the wild. That's it. More people go to your average music festival, yet they're getting less funding and attention than other charismatic megafauna. You know, the lions, elephants, and pandas of the world. Cheetahs, hey, we're literally dying here. World, look at the kitty run. Anyway, so yeah, being born a cheetah, it sucks. You're fast, yes, but you're fragile, anxious, hunted, bullied, robbed, misunderstood, and going extinct, all while looking like an Instagram model with asthma. Yet somehow, cheetahs keep running. They keep surviving. They keep being iconic. And maybe that's what makes them amazing, because being strong isn't just about fighting. Sometimes it's about sprinting through a brutal world with grace, style, and just enough flair to keep going. So the next time you see a cheetah, don't just admire its speed, admire its will. Because cheetahs, they're the underdogs of the animal kingdom. And they deserve more than just 15 seconds of viral fame. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next episode of Why It Sucks to Be Born as a Snake. Leave a comment below. Which animal do you think has it worse?